Today is Halloween, and that is my second favorite holiday, just shy by a hair to Christmas. So even though I'm going to spend the rest of the day in bed just taking it easy, and I just woke up from a nap, I had my very last Kshar Sutra threading today. The doctor thinks everything looks pretty good. I have to have my thread in for a week. Then I'll go back to visit him, and he'll remove the thread, and then I will have to stay here for another week and then go visit him so that he can assess how the wound is healing, and then I will be free to go back home to Canada and live the rest of my life. Don't want to jinx myself, but hopefully fistula free. Such an incredible thing to say, because there was a time when I thought I'd have this damn thing for forever. He modified his technique. Well, let me backtrack a little tiny bit. He tries to continuously improve his techniques every time he meets a patient. And with me, because I was so sensitive and so extremely loud and vocal with my screeching, whenever I got an injection to freeze my fistula area, he had modified his technique that last time I saw him, which was just this past visit, so that the injection was less painful, and he succeeded. It wasn't painful really hardly at all. So I was really flattered that he took the time and the effort to try to change up his technique just to make sure that I was more comfortable, and of course patients down the line are more comfortable. Yesterday there was, and for the past, I would say, maybe 2 or 3 days before that, there was some blood in the toilet after I had gone, number 2. So that was a little bit concerning, but I texted the doctor when I saw a lot of blood, and he just reassured me that it's a sensitive area. It has a lot of bleeding anyway if the area is cut, so that's normal. So that was reassuring. And after my last Kshar Sutra threading, it went really well. I didn't have very much pain with the threading at all. As I was coming home and the freezing was, I think, starting to wear off, then the area started to burn more around my bum hole, as opposed to like kind of inside my body where I used to feel the pain or the sensations. And that is most likely because now there's about 1 centimeter left to my fistula before it just has gone through the entire tract. I have no more infection in the area, the doctor said. Of course, there's always the risk of recurrence, so I will absolutely make sure to clean the area as much as I possibly can and make sure that there's no stool in the area or blood accumulation or anything like that. Pardon the lighting change, but I also wanted to insert that even though I'm on my very last Kshar Sutra threading and I have a week to go before this is out, sometimes my fistula still does leak feces. And that's because the hole is still there, of course. The thread is in my body, so the hole is still there from my rectum to the outside of my body. And also, my first surgeon who drained my abscess, as I've said before, made a hole to drain the abscess. It was as big around as his finger. So that was, in my opinion, that was an excessively large hole. And because he made the hole so big, and because I had repeated surgeries to drain the abscess, because that same surgeon, in my opinion, did not drain the abscess properly in the first place. The first drainage he did was internally, and that failed. Then he had to do an external drainage. So because of that, my fistula, the diameter of it is bigger than usual. And because of that, and because of the angle, I've always had a problem with leaking feces, so it doesn't really surprise me that it's still leaking, as the connection, the hole is still there, with the thread is still going through. So I just wanted to mention that, just on the off chance that anybody is having Kshar Sutra and they have the same issues that I have with their fistula leaking feces, and they're on their 2nd, 3rd, 4th threading, and they're wondering, why is this still leaking feces? I think it's because so long as there is a hole from your rectum to the outside of your body, anything can get through there. One thing that did change as far as my fistula leaking feces is that before I had Kshar Sutra and before the tract started to get cut through, sometimes feces would be locked up there for hours. I could never ever predict on any given day how long it would take the feces to drain out of there, no matter how much I pressed, no matter how much I walked around. nothing seemed to make it come out any quicker or slower than it was ready and willing to. Now that the Kshar Sutra thread has worked its way mostly through my fistula, I find that I will use the washroom and then come out, and if there is stool there, there will be stool there right away, and I'll kind of spray that off with a shower head, and then I will press the stool as Dr. Bapat has advised me, and it comes out not instantaneously. Sometimes it does take a little bit longer to come out, but since I've had Kshar Sutra and the track has been worked through quite a bit, so for the past, I guess, 2 weeks or so, it seems that stool will be in my fistula for no longer than an hour tops, if that. So use the washroom nowadays. If something's going to come out, then it's right there, and I can just press out whatever's left, and then I can usually move on about my day. After each procedure that I've had with the doctor, there has been some blood for the day of the procedure, and that usually clears up by the next day. So that's pretty much it. Still up walking around. There's really no pain. I'm just choosing to take it easy. Before I went to my appointment, I took a painkiller, as I always do, and then when we were coming home, as the freezing was wearing off and I was starting to feel quite a bit of burning and discomfort, I made sure to take another painkiller and then just had a nap. So I'm feeling good now, and I will get on here in a few days and give you guys an update. And I can't believe it, but I'm really excited that I'm on my way to finally being fistula free.